Hi guys, Frauke here from the PhysioFit Studio, and I would like to welcome you to Q&A Thursday. We will talk about tendinopathies. We at the PhysioFit Studio see quite a lot of people with tendinopathies. So things that we see very commonly is plantar fasciitis, problems with Achilles tendons, and very commonly, of course, as you can imagine, problems with tendons around the hips and shoulders. Now, in this little session that I promise won't take very long, I will tell you what not to do and how to properly heal tendons and what is the right thing to do. So please hang in there and bear with me, because I think this is very exciting for a lot of people out there in our community. So let me start with the things that when I became a physio 20 years ago, we were taught we should do with tendons, which is ice, rest, anti-inflammatories. And 20 years ago, they didn't work and they still don't work. And the reason why they don't work is because tendonitis is actually an incorrect term. Tendons might be painful, but the reason for that pain is not inflammation. So let's scrap the term tendonitis. What we're really dealing with is tendinopathies, which is changes around the tendon and in the tendon's cells. So I want to actually thank James, because actually this morning he came up with this very interesting question, and because it's Q&A Thursday, I thought this is the perfect question to raise today. He asked me, look, Frauke, you know, I've been dealing with this tendon issue for a little while, and does that mean that in a little while down the track, my tendon will get just worse and worse, and it'll come back and it'll come back? And this is what I explained to him. The problem in your tendon is a little bit like a donut. So this might be the problem area, and in that area we will see cell changes. Oftentimes on an ultrasound they actually come up as fluid in the cell, fluid in the tendon, or they come up as a partial tear, and actually we don't know that the tendon is actually torn, but what we do know is that there is a lot more water in that area of the tendon problem. But what I was explaining to James and to you guys all is that the tendon is like a donut. Although there might be a problem somewhere in the tendon, the rest of the donut, the actual outside of the donut, the yummy bit of the donut, can totally change, and our body is amazing. It can completely adapt and change when it needs to. And the one thing that it needs for that change and for the pain to settle and for you to have long-term really good outcomes is appropriate load. What does that mean? Appropriate load is really a very individual thing. So we need to actually test what your tendon can cope with currently and then load it at exactly that point, because tendons don't like change. And if your tendon can cope with this much load and we load it here, your tendon problem will increase and that donut hole will get bigger and bigger. If we load your tendon below the point of that it can cope with, you won't get that really nice change in the outer ring of the donut, that change where your tendon actually strengthens and gets better around that problem area. So the appropriate load is a very individualized load, and it does need a lot of testing. So what we do is we have a look at what you can do currently, and then we will load you at about 80% of that, and we give you exact time frames. And whilst there is kind of a little bit of a recipe to that, that recipe needs to be very, very individualized. And that's why Dr. Google doesn't work. You need to have an individualized program if you have tendon issues, especially if you've been dealing with those tendon issues for a while. So my question to you is, what have you tried so far? Have you tried something and did it work or did it not work? And that's me for now. Let me know what you thought, and I welcome you soon again. Frauke here from PhysioFit, signing out.